5 stat line in the same game in finals history, joining the likes of Steph and KD, Penny and Shaq. They're the first tandem to do this in the Celtics' illustrious finals history. So here was Boston's star pair after taking that commanding 3-0 lead.
Experience is the best teacher, right? We learned from our mistakes. We learned from a team at the time that was better than us, that was, had been there and been over that hump and mentally tougher at the time. And we've grown from that. We really have, and it was on display tonight.
We've been in those positions and we've lost, so it was great to overcome that with my brother Jason and the rest of our team. That was special.
So, Perk, you saw some growth specifically from Jaylen Brown that you wanted to highlight.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, he took over. And in the first, second, and third quarter, I thought, and especially in the first half, he took a backseat to Jason Tatum, and he saw that he was cooking, and he let him cook. And then in the second half, he was like, you know what? It's time for me to go off. Crucial four-quarter buckets. And on top of that, he had 8 assists last night. Jaylen Brown, the playmaker. But how many powerful plays has he had in this series starting from game 1? This series is all about Jaylen Brown. I know it's a team event. I'm not trying to put these two against each other or whatever, but he's been the best player in this series by far on both sides of the basketball, between both ball clubs. He's been dominant.
What I love about this duo is you're going back and forth. I'm like, all right, who's better? Who cares?
Amen.
Who literally cares?
What
I have discovered is Jaylen Brown is their closer. He's also their dog. I was like, who is going to be the Celtics' dog to be able to hold them accountable and bring them through the tough times? Jaylen Brown. And it came down to that play. I believe the score was 100-98. They were up 2, and he hit this jumper right there. He said, I won it. I got it. Yo, it's cool. It's cool if Jason Tatum has 30 points leading into the fourth, and then Jaylen Brown is able to bring them home. That is how championship teams work. So what I discovered is he has emerged as their closer, and Tatum has just held them together, and I think that's been the beauty of their tandem.
Well, here's the thing, right? I think it's more so us applauding and appraising Jaylen Brown because he don't get a lot of flowers, right? Because Jason Tatum, he's always getting the flowers throughout the regular season. He's always winning the individual accolades. He's the starter in the All-Star game. Jaylen Brown feels disrespected, and right now it's his moment, and a lot of people is going to have to apologize, including myself.
Yes, sir, you better, because I remember what you were saying about those
loudest.
So wait, hold on.
Wait, is this official? Are you is this now, or are you waiting until after?
No, we want it now. We want it now.
Are you waiting until after?
You don't even know what I'm apologizing for. What am I apologizing for?
For being the man that say you should break him up?
I mean, that was 2 years ago.
Why we bringing up
That was 2 years ago. And you didn't pick them to win this series.
Well, but not Shanae said
I did. Speak for yourself.
I told you why I picked
the Celtics.
I did too.
It may be it's necessary to be able to have them both take turns. It's what has made this look like there's going to be a different result this year than there was in 2022.
You know I'm so impressed about with Jaylen Brown is how
I thought you were saying what you're so impressed about with Perk.
Yes,
tell us.
The growth
is his voice. When they traded Marcus Smart, I'm not sure they expected Jaylen Brown to step into that.
Point.
But his voice, you watch the huddles, he's leading those huddles. He's in there leading those huddles. We've gotten to hear him on the mics in the postseason and some of the stuff he's saying. You pointed out that earlier with the way he was directing on the court. Jaylen wasn't really this type of player 2 years ago. He is much more confident in what he can do. He's much more confident in the ball. 2 years ago, I'd have been like, oh, man, Jaylen's got the ball. How's he going to turn this one over? I had no fear in this game. You know what he's saying last night in the huddles? George Sedano, who does ESPN radio for us.
Fantastic.
He stands in the huddles. They let him in the huddles, which is a great thing. He was like, it's time to graduate. He was telling his teammates, time to graduate. I was like, man, if I sat here and tried to write a column about this game, I don't know if I could come up with something better than it was graduation time. He's telling them that in the moment, in the huddle. Not even Joe Mazzulla. He's saying, okay, here we go. He was getting his graduate degree in that game, and so was Tatum, and so was all those guys.
Whitney's got bars today.
Al Horford, Derek White.
Al Horford is already got. He's sort of bona fide.
But I think the championship. I think the championship for Al Horford. When he's saying time to graduate, I also look at that. It's like it's time to make that next step to go where we've been dreaming of.
Well, since we're talking about Celtics big men, let's get to Kristaps Porzingis because he did not play last last night due to injury. He has a torn medial retinaculum in his left leg, and Woj reported last night that his status is very much uncertain for the rest of the finals. We don't know how long that rest is going to be of the finals, but his absence had opened up an opportunity for some other big men, like you were saying, Rich. So it's time now for Big Man Ballin'. It's brought to you by ESPN Bet. I'm going to let our big man take it from here, Perk.
I mean, look, I thought Kristaps Porzingis was the most important player, but look, in Xavier Tillman sighting, crucial three.
First
right? Look, I'm telling you.
Look how hyped he was.
Yeah, because that was the biggest shot of his career.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. Then look at old man. Hold on, Wendy. Look at old man Al Horford slide these puppies. Communicate the switch. Hey. He's on the island by himself with Kyrie Irving. Look at the value of that stick hand at being 6'10", affecting the shot. And look,
fouled out in his 6 years in the NBA, and it was his first ever disqualification in the playoffs. And moments ago, I spoke with the 5-time All-Star to just discuss how he's internalizing the Mavs loss and a series that seems to be slipping away. Now that you've had a chance to sleep on it, reflect on it a little bit, how do you reflect on fouling out for the first time in your playoff career?
Yeah, it was tough. Probably wasn't the smartest thing. But just, it was a physical game. To get 6 fouls, I didn't expect it.
You're the ultimate competitor. I'm sure you wanted to be out on the floor. How did it feel watching your teammates have to battle without you when the game was within reach for those final 4 minutes?
It's tough. I always say, it's easier to be in the game than being on the bench. I was more nervous on the bench.
Do you feel like if you had been in the game, the outcome could have been different?
I mean, I feel, but, I have trust in my teammates. I think we played some good possession. I have believed that we were going to win the game. Obviously, having me out there, helps Kyrie a little bit more. So, obviously, I think it'll be a different outcome, but you never know.
So Kyrie said after the game, what did you say to Luka? And he said at this point, you just kind of have to give him a hug and tell him it's okay. But did you feel like you let your teammates down?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I say, it wasn't the smartest thing to do, especially in this situation. It's the finals. You got to give everything. A little tie out there. But, yeah, Kyrie's been great for me, just having him on here.
So what did you say to your teammates afterwards?
It's my bad. Can't do that, especially in the NBA Finals. Regular season is a little bit different, but can't really do that in the finals.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I mean, you guys did figure something out towards the end of the game. It's just hard to dig yourselves out of a 20-point hole. What did you find towards the end that you feel like you can build on moving forward?
I think we were having fun. We were playing our basketball, and that's what we do. We got stops. We ran with pace. And that's kind of how we play the whole playoffs, outside 1-2 games before the finals. So just having fun out there. We kind of forgot to have fun.
You have been dealing with a mountain of different ailments that continue to pile on. How are you feeling now?
100%.
You always say that.
I mean, there's just no excuses. I never have excuses. It's a lot. A lot of people are banged up. Just at the end of the day, it's a lot of games to play.
Do you feel like you still have another level that you can reach even with being this banged up?
Yeah, especially, helping my teammates out. They played a different kind of defense we've never seen before in these playoffs. Just let us go one-on-one. So I think I have to help out my teammates more.
Your defense has been under a lot of scrutiny, maybe because you're hurt, maybe because of something else. Do you feel like you can help your teammates more? Do you think the scrutiny you're under is fair?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're always going to talk about it, but at the end of the day, I don't think the biggest problem is our defense at this point. I think we scored 3 games under 100 points. I mean, that gives credit to Boston's defense. But I think our offense is a little bit more problematic right now than defense. Like I say, we never scored three times in a row under 100 points, especially with me and Kai out there. So that gives Boston defense a big credit. So I think we got to do a better job with that. Like I said, on 20 points, we got to play with a little more pace.
I know you said you're 100%, but do you expect to get another pain-killing shot before Game 4?
It's for cameras. Probably, yeah.
A team has never come back
from an 0-3 deficit. You know that. You said that you have to have belief. Why do you have belief in this team that you can be the first?
Because we've been through a lot. We've only been together for 5 months. There was a moment in the regular season when we lost like 5-6 in a row, and from there we just went up. And I believe we can do it because of teammates I have and the whole team. We have great chemistry. We're gonna stay together no matter what.
Thank you to Luka for his time as always, and to Richard for trying on Shanae's earring
Literally.
at the end.
What is going on?
I'm trying to do the Mr. Clean. I was going to do the Mr. Clean. No,
I didn't know you had ears.
All right, I'm going to go to the adult in the room. Brian Windhorst.
That was your best.
I want to commend Luka for doing that interview.
Yep.
Because it had to be brutal to come in after that and talk to you and take those questions. I want to commend you for asking the tough questions. I appreciate what he said, but frankly, I've heard from him before.
Thank you.
And so it's got to be actions over words. And it's not going to necessarily be just tomorrow. It's got to be going forward. He's got a lot of years in his career. Yeah. He can accomplish anything. What I want to see, Malika, is the interview 2 years from now after they win, or next year, whenever it is in the future, when he's holding the trophy and he's saying, yeah, I remember that. That's what I want to see. And I want that